Hello, how is everyone doing today? I hope you're doing well. Welcome. Today I wanted to offer a distance spirit medicine energy healing inspired by using our discernment and being able to hold on to our boundaries. So holding on to energetic boundaries, of course, more of a energetic framework of not taking on too much that isn't our own, not giving away our energy, but also that mental clarity of knowing what is right for you, knowing what is wrong for you, being able to discern truth in words, in thought, in action as aligned and honest and for your greatest good. This isn't about being stubborn, but also being able to understand when something external isn't right. I hope that makes sense. This is kind of like flowing through a train of thought. Just kind of came to me. So we're going to go with it, and hopefully you understand what I mean. So with that being said, I'm going to really focus and tune into the energy. Calling in our highest and most loving selves, our soul, our heart, our mental space, all aligning within our physical body. Calling in our most loving and benevolent guides, the spirits who watch over us, who are holding and creating the space of protection, of guidance, of clarity and truth. Taking a moment, connecting to your feet, to your connection to the earth below you, to the land, connecting to this rooted, firm foundation. It's like the bull is kind of Taurus energy, the fixed energy. And we're bringing this into balance, so it's not as if we're being so stubborn that we're unwilling to admit to other perspectives, to other ideologies, to other frameworks. But we're also not accepting everything that we're told as truth either. This Hierophant energy, if you are familiar with the tarot, a Hierophant is kind of the key to spiritual knowledge and wisdom and hidden wisdom, but from a perspective of having a mentor, having a teacher, someone else is holding the key of these structures of spiritual wisdom. Versus it just coming from yourself. And there's good and bad to that. So it's balancing and using discernment. Just because someone is loud or trying to push something on you doesn't mean it's true. If you've fallen into a habit, going into the heart space of kind of bending and giving and sacrificing parts and bits of yourself because you feel like that is what's needed to please other people, to feel accepted, to feel safe. Feeling a sense of judgment. That's this energy, not of judgment being put on you, but judgment radiating off of you. So maybe there's feeling of, I'm feeling very earth energy right now, like the earth signs, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. This is a bit of an invitation of judgment isn't automatically bad and it isn't automatically good. It's our judgment. What we feel is wrong, what we feel is right. From within our own framework, from our own norms, our values, our ego, and our soul. Maybe someone in your life has done something that you really, truly, from a moral standpoint, do not resonate with. But there's this feeling of, maybe I'm being too harsh, or, I should be more open or loving and honest, like that kind of love and light idea. This doesn't mean you have to finger point at someone, but if someone is doing something, unless you've you feel that they are actively causing harm. But if someone in your life is very misaligned in their value system and what you feel is right or wrong, it is not bad judgment to say, I don't want that near me. I don't agree with that. I don't want to be around that. I think the way you view things is not how I view things. In a very fundamental, profound way. That's allowed. That's not a bad thing. People do not need to stay in your life. You do not have to be loving and accepting of every single value or action. You can have empathy for them, but that doesn't mean that they need to be around you if they are fundamentally different than you in a very moral, ethical standpoint. You might not be able to change someone's mind. You do not have the singular power to change someone else's belief systems. But that doesn't mean we have to let people who have ideas we think are fundamentally immoral or incorrect or just different or misaligned from our own close into our space. This includes on the internet too. My voice got very high-pitched and scratchy while I said that, The block button, if you are on social media or the internet, the block button exists for a reason. That's not bad. It just is. Just moving into the root. I'm feeling a big block as I move farther into the body, to the sense of safety, and into the sacral, into the way we relate to others. You've had boundaries that have been infringed upon, and you're finding it hard to trust yourself and others because of others' actions, of their violations, of people ignoring you or not understanding where you're coming from. feeling like I need to like loosen and stretch, like I've been like hunched over. So there's some weird popping sounds coming from my back as I do that. So moving into, because you felt the most in this feeling of lack of understanding. So when we say boundaries, it's not about us dictating other people's actions. They're also not constant, strict ideas we have to live within all the time. But maybe there's this feeling of, if you say what you need at this moment, maybe you have been feeling closed off recently. Other people are going to react in ways that either forceful, where they're going to be really judgmental or tell you that you're, crazy or you're overreacting or you need to lighten up. Or there's the opposite where they're going to take it personally. It's not quite an opposite, but a different reaction of they're going to take it personally. They're going to feel like you're attacking them when you state your needs. And then they might leave. So there's kind of a two back and forth feeling. I don't know how else to explain that. To the solar plexus. I feel this way a lot when I'm like talking to people. Often when I'm trying to set my own boundaries, if someone else isn't showing up the way that I need within myself at this moment, where I really do my best not to be rigid about it. Like I try and be understanding of why other people also have their own needs and their own boundaries in place. So there's kind of that dynamic that we all have that we're all working with. It's not black and white for any of us. There needs to be some understanding on everyone's part. I definitely have people misinterpret what I'm saying, where it's like, what I need is this. And they take it as me saying, you're not doing this. Therefore, if you don't do this perfectly every time, that you're like wrong. And I try and make it clear. Like, no. A pattern of behavior that supports me is not other people's job to soothe. It's more so me saying this overall pattern is supportive of me. And it's helpful for others to know that, so that you can show up if you need to in that way, or let it be known that you are not capable of that at this moment. Okay. I hope that, I don't know how else to phrase that. I'm struggling with words. It's coming through very discordant and not fully grounded. Brushing off your shoulders, brushing off other opinions, judgments. I guess this kind of aligns with what I was just talking about, because I definitely have friends and loved ones who are very well-meaning, but everyone has their own opinions. About what we all should and shouldn't be doing. So we're going into the space where very well-meaning, but ultimately not always supportive opinions of you should be doing this, you should have done this. You should allow this, you shouldn't allow this. For most of us, we're ultimately going to make our own decisions. And we can invite an input. We can ask for people's opinions. But we can't live by other people's boundaries, you know? It has to stem from us, or else they ultimately, energetically, are more keeping us trapped in our own self-limitations versus a mechanism to protect ourselves or get our own needs met. Being able to balance. Being able to listen to other people's perspectives and like an outside perspective into your life of advice versus having other people trying to fix your life for you. Into the heart. Being able to feel love and gratitude for those perspectives, for advice, for outsider input, with respect, but being able to also trust your own internal judgment. As soon as I started filming this, getting a lot of almost nasal clicking noises and strange popping. It's the best way I can describe it. So I feel like I'm making some weird noises and not able to talk very clearly. Just brushing through, focusing on your aura, focusing on your energy field, letting go of any excess heaviness or whatever. I'm so eloquent today. I'm going to need to do a lot of stretching after this. However, I am feeling a lot lighter and less like I'm closed in. So, with that being said, thank you so much for being here with me today. I wish you all the best. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. And hopefully I will see you next time.